Greetings, I'm back and I have a new proposition for this afternoon. We're going to be using the Motherpeace cards and we're going to adapt the Motherpeace spread into a Motherpeace love reading. And we're going to look at it from the point of view of messages from the goddess. So, what we're going to do first is we're going to go through the meanings of the positions and then we're going to pull a spread of 11 cards and we're going to have a look at that. Okay? Okay, 1 second here. So I'm going to walk you through. So you can lay it out like it was a Celtic cross, or if you're familiar with the Motherpeace, you can use the circular spread. So the card number one is the significator. It's going to tell you what your current emotional state in love is, where you are, what's going on with you. Card number two is going to tell you what the atmosphere that you're in, what is the event or the energy surrounding your love life, the current moment. Then, of course, you're going to look at how your emotional state is vibing with what's going on in the energy that is surrounding you, in the atmosphere. Are you comfortable? Are you uncomfortable? What's going on? Card number three, we will call the cross current. We will call that the challenge or the lesson that you're learning right now. What is the lesson, the romantic lesson that you're learning in your life in this moment? And you keep adding and integrating each card onto the other because you're telling a story. The good thing about using a spread is that you really get the answers that you need, and each card is going to be easier to interpret because it's given a value according to the position. When you're just reading straight, you have to you're playing with a lot of variables, right? And that's why it's easier to do that when you're not reading for anybody in particular, right? And so whoever vibes with the message, who resonates with it, will pick it up. Now we're doing a specific reading. Okay, now let's go to the root, the what's underneath everything, like the unconscious foundation, right, of how you are loving. Maybe this is something you're not conscious of. Maybe you are conscious. It all depends on the cards. But it's like, what is the base? What is your fourth house when it speaks to love? What are you standing upon? What is your base? Then we're going to look at card number 5, which is telling us about the past. This is an influence or a relationship that's been left behind. It can also be a lesson. It can be an idea. It will depend on the suit, and it will depend if it's a major, if it's minor, if it's a court card. Then we're going to look at card on top, which is basically the sky, and it's going to tell you what do you consciously seek in a partner, what it is that you desire. So we're going to see a lot of contradictions here because, again, you're always going to come back to what is your current state. And of course, what are you consciously looking for? Something very different, something that is going together with you or not. Then we're going to look at number 7, which is the near future. So that would be the next step in your romantic life. That would be from 1 to 6 weeks. The self-concept. How do you perceive yourself as a partner or as a desirable being? Like, what is the relationship you have with yourself? What is your self-image or self-concept with respect to relationships? We need to know. Card number 9 will speak about hopes and fears. What are your anxieties or your yearnings regarding the outcome of this situation? So sometimes fears and hopes and fears can be the same thing, So we can look at that. Is it emotional? Is it mental? Is it physical? Then card number 10 will look at our environment. Once more, the environment is also reflective of the atmosphere. The environment would be external influences, friends, family, or people who are surrounding me at this time, right? In what space am I? And then, of course, the last card, number 11, is the romantic energy, where everything is going and the outcome. And if you want, you can add another card, a 12th card, which will be like the gift or the blessing that the goddess is giving you in this moment. So when you're doing a love reading now, you're doing it for someone, you're not going to include anybody else, just your client. So the messages are for your client. You can already tell what's going on in the relationship if you can see what's going on with your client. Okay? All right. Let us begin with, one moment. Let us begin with, mosquitoes killing me, Lord of mercy. Yeah, we're going to shuffle 3 times. Okay. And then I'm going to lay out the cards. Practice, practice, practice makes perfect. Always practice. Sometimes the messages that you get are incredible, right? Okay, so I've shuffled. I've got 3 times. Look who's on the bottom of the deck. She's moving forward with confidence in her life. So we love that. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Some people take out the last card. It's like giving the tone of the reading. So it's like feminine empowerment. Good for you. Okay, well, good for this person. We're in a love reading here. 1, 2, 3, and we're just practicing, okay? So here goes the Motherpeace spread. Okay, so card number 1 is where is the client at this particular moment? And 5 of Wands comes out. So this is a card that shows obstacles, difficulties, competition, and it's like a lot of chaos going on in this card. So I would say that in a love reading in this moment, your client or our client is not really interested at this time. There's just too many things that they're looking at this time, right? Or there's a lot of competition in a situation. So what is the atmosphere that they're in? Why is this going on? We have a 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups would say that there's something going on in the atmosphere that has to do with relationships or friendships or people from your past come back into your life, and this might cause you some kind of obstacle or problem, right? Because a lot of them, this is a lot of people together. When you're looking at tarot, you're supposed to be visual, right? We're at a point now where we're supposed to be using our intuition more than what the cards are saying. Remember, the cards have a meaning, so do the positions, and then also your intuition is coming into play here. So we have to take all of those things into consideration. What is the challenge right now? What is the lesson to be learned? Because these are contradicting energies, right? And it's also telling me that the client has difficulty moving ahead, where the atmosphere has already taken a step forward. They're still lost in an energy that's very complicated. A better word. Okay, so what has to be learned here? What is the challenge? It's talking about communication. It's talking about chatting with others. It's talking about you basically atmosphere, your 3rd house, right? So you have to learn to cooperate and get along with these people, whether they are your on the inside or the outside. This could be many different things that you feel hold you back, right? And so you need to kind of get yourself together, go back, right, and see what it is that you want and sort yourself out. Because if not, we're not going to advance. Trust me. If I'm dying to peek at the last card, but I won't. What is the foundation of the base of this relationship now? When I say that a relationship, I mean the relationship with self. Because if there's no relationship with self, forget about it with anybody else. Look at this. On the base and the foundation, we have the 5 of discs. So right away, we're coming up to here. So we're seeing that there's other blockages. The whole foundation that is on is a foundation that I just hear poor me. It's like a situation where you feel stuck, you don't come from a good base. So right away, we know that this atmosphere is very healing. So there's something that needs to be done for you to get unstuck. The 5s are stuck. They're stuck in the material world. You want to get the energy moving so yeah, you can flow in your spiritual world, right? So you need to start talking to yourself. There's things to be learned here. This is a mother who is teaching her children how to communicate. She uses art, she uses language, she tells stories. Right? And then she's there actually painting on the walls in the cave. Okay, let's look at the past. What happened in the past that brought us to this current moment? The first card is so telling. It is so telling. But I'm telling you, 5 of Swords. In the Motherpeace, this is considered a very unfortunate card. Yeah, it means that it would also, it might indicate that external influences have trapped this person, right? There's a lot of conflict and the roads are blocked. I would say that this person definitely has their roads blocked. Okay, but not to worry because you're going to push forward. So It's a mental block. And it's definitely a reason now, which is going to be discovered in the rest of the cards, what is going on now. So already we have 3 5s. 3 5s are 15. That's the devil. So it could be a mindset. It could be toxic energy that is surrounding the person at this time, right? And it's in all areas of their life. Okay, what does the client want? Client wants clarity, understood. They want a conversation, they want to advance, they want to clear the air, and they want to get into a safe spot where they are actually connecting with their light body. And this is the top, and you see the sword is pointing up to the MC. So we definitely want to be aligning our sights towards truth, right? Creativity and opening. So I'm pretty sure that all of this is going to be clear. There is something going on in the background that is holding the client back, and they're definitely going to find out what it is. In the Motherpeace, this is very toxic energies, right? And they're coming from the past, and they still have a hold on you. Okay? Okay, what is coming up in the near future? What has to be learned and integrated? Well, we see a breakthrough here because your client then is now grounded. They're more sure of themselves. They're coming out of their self-imposed isolation, making a stand and taking a stand, right? Channeling information through their obsidian mirror. So this is great. So this means that a whole new cycle is beginning. The person is more sure of themselves, and they were able to channel and understand. So this clarity was given to them. So they're out of the shell now. They're coming out, and obviously they're ready to start a new cycle. They figured it out. What is the self-concept of your client? Okay, yes, because the client, here we have our first major arcana. So the self-concept is showing that this person has gone through a period of isolation, of looking inside, of getting to know themselves and looking at the roads that have to be traversed, because this is like the dark night of the soul, because she's there with the moon and she's spent a lot of time with herself. This is your inner guide, right? And this isolation has been self-imposed. And maybe there's a reason then why this is not to go, because maybe your client knows it's not the right time, because this can get into trouble. And for experience from the past has told you that you will come upon difficulties. It's just not the right time. And it looks like the client understands it perfectly, because of the isolation, they've come to have some kind of clarity. Okay, so we're taking a stand, putting your foot firmly on the earth and beginning a new cycle, with new energy, because this is a daughter of this. Okay, now let's look at hopes and fears. Hopes and fears. It looks to me, yes, like the hope is that you get organized and you push through. There is a feeling that no matter what is going on in the atmosphere, you're going to have to take a stand, you're going to have to push through, and you're going to have to organize yourself. But you are protected. It's time for you to stand up, to say what it is that you need to say, and to be compassionate, about your life. Okay, how is the environment at this moment? Okay, one more time. There's a lot of negative energy in the environment. It's like a lot of cutthroat. I call this card because it's 3 goddesses, and they're envious of each other because they're taking swords to each other's throat. So I call this card envidiosas, las envidiosas. Okay, but definitely it's saying it's not the right time. Goddess is telling you, be careful with groups, with people. There's a lot of people around here that probably are getting in groups and doing all kinds of things. I'm not to mention anything that is to worry anybody here, but those who know Motherpeace know exactly what I'm talking about, and it is to them that I speak. Okay, what is the outcome at this time? Obviously, we continue to have this as the only card. So there is a knowing of what's going on at this time, right? And it's coming to an end, let me tell you. It has to do with groups of people here. Yes. So now we have the Eight of Cups. So this card is a card of saying, it's a card of letting go. Although even though this octopus is having difficulty letting go, they're gonna let go. Because they realize that these things no longer fill them up, you know, and so it's time to let go and it's time to move forward, let the current take you somewhere else. But since we have not finished with a major arcana, let us continue and see three more cards. Because if you don't finish this spread with a major arcana, you have to go until you get one, but you only have three tries. So let's see, first try, 2, 3. Okay, on the third try, we got a major arcana. So here we got the shaman of discs. Then we got the 7 of swords, and then we got death. So we're gonna stop at death. So these are things necessarily that would happen. So I would say it's quite necessary to have a little discernment about who is coming into your life, because this is a 7 of swords. So the 7 of swords is a crafty fox. No, they're always planning and scheming to get where the rest of the chickens are, right? So that he can steal eggs. So you have to be careful. But in any case, there's going to be a big, big change here in this situation. So it's like the door is being closed here. The door is already closed because this is not an energy. This is an energy that says you're only going to continue what has been going on in the past. And in the past, you've been blocked, possibly to a certain degree so that you cannot advance. No, we're not putting, in other words, yes. So what are we going to do? And it's going on the outside. So you know where you're coming from. There has been disappointment. There has been stress. There has been trauma. And it's just going to continue. So the 4, because 4 swords have come out. So this is telling us then that this is a 4 of swords moment. It's a moment to continue, stay where you are, hold back. It's not a time for even going out into the world. I mean, you go out into the world with your projects. How many cups are here? 2 cups. So there's a 2 of cups. So it's something that begins and ends quickly. So are you into that? I think not. Okay, so we have 2 major arcanas once more. So this is a cycle that's coming to an end. It's coming to a transformation. And it's been a long journey for your client or for you. And then we have 3 wands, which says that it's time to put into action your new plans that have to do with this, right? And so it's time to go out again. It's time to be seen. It's time to go out into the world. It's time to work, right? This is a this card for me basically has to do with how you see yourself, right? But on the good side, it's a very hardworking card because she's doing what's necessary. She's using her talents to do what she has to do so that she can make some money. Not all tarots are read the same way. And if you can see that the other card is telling you, is pushing you forward, it's an attitude you take with life. This is like, oh my, the world has closed the doors in my face. No, we're not dealing with that. We don't want no negativity. I do not like negativity in my readings. I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm not going to do it. You come for reading to leave better than when you came in. What you need to see is what's going on, what are the options, how we can push forward, but you will never get a negative, right? You will have to explain the card and then you will have to do some therapeutic work with your client around that. And we're not going to do that today because we're just showing you how to use this spread. So in effect, I would say that this client is not ready for a relationship on the outside because they still have a lot of contradictions on an internal level that they need to clear up. And they will get it cleared because we're going from the sky to this card, right? And the last card, I remember what the last card is. What is the last card? What is, oh yes. So the decision will be that to leave behind whatever is unsatisfying, whatever doesn't float your boat or blow your hair back, it's got to go. And you have to advance, right? Because we're moving towards the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is personal satisfaction. And really, self-love is really the most important, my people. Other people come into your life just to show you a mirror of what you need to work on. Truthfully. Because when you meet somebody now, there's going to be a lot of understanding and each one will be whole. So there won't be a lot of problems. Yeah. So she's back again saying it's time to move forward. She's bringing justice. She knows what's going on. She's listening to the old crow and the ancestors, right? And giving thanks for everything because her life is now flowing, right? There's a lot of work coming, new emotions coming in, right? When the river meets the sea, right? When you know, you go up to the top of the mountain, the top of the hills. There's my owl still telling me that he's still around, right? You get yourself organized. And will you look at this for me? We got the emperor and the empress here. So good. When you least expect it, my dear. Okay, that's it for now. That's for the Motherpeace. I hope you like that. And what I'm going to do a lot more of those readings, those Motherpeace love readings. Messages from the goddess for you. Okay.